Toy Insanity here with your daily dose of toys. Happy Arbor Day. Arbor Day is a day that we, if you feel like it, you go plant a tree. You got an extra seedling or sapling laying around. Get it in the ground. Now, you may know that I love plant-based critters, creatures, figures, anthropomorphic plant monsters. Tree ants, dryads, Groot, Treebeard, the whole gang. All right? So here on Arbor Day, we're going to look at a tree monster from Collecta. Maybe you say Collecta. I say Collecta. They're based out of the UK. Apparently at one point they had US distribution in Hollywood, Florida. They had a P.O. box at least. CollectAUS.com. You can still go to their main website. I thought it was written on here. It doesn't matter. Search up Collecta. The thing is, they have over 500 products currently. It's all the usual. Animals of the jungle, animals of the farm, pets, and also dinosaurs. So real-life terrestrial dinosaurs. They've completely dropped off this mythical creatures and soldiers line, which they did the early 2000s. There may be a date on the card. There you go. Collecta.biz. I was just at their website to make sure they didn't revive this line. I would love for them to revive this line. I think there's a full checklist inside. But we're going to look at the Dryad. That's our tree mythology creature. And we're going to go and look at Medusa. Make sure it says Medusa, not a Gorgon. Medusa. We get a collector's card. It's taped in. Why would they do that? Hang on. Now I think I do have one more of these. I have the Cerberus, which I bought on Amazon at one point. These two are not on. Well, when I got these maybe 2 years ago, they were not on Amazon. I think they came out in like 2005 or something. I was real excited to finally track down. Finally like 2 years ago, this Dryad came through eBay. And I was so excited to finally get it, but reality does not match expectations. I bet this does not even have the mythology series in it. But here, now you know what Collecta is. Huh? Horses. Farm life. Woodland collection. Cats and dogs. Sea life. Nothing about mythology. And no date of release. That is useless. All right, so I saw a product image of this, and I'm like, that looks like the freakiest figure ever. Okay, this does have an articulation. So I noticed the articulation on Medusa. I don't know why. Think how you're not even getting an angled turn. So the interesting thing about Medusa, accessory, the Dryad, has kind of a dagger as part of its sculpt, if not part of its being, because tree monster. But this one, you can actually have her hold it. Yeah, the painting is not great. The sculpts are not even great. But for some reason, seeing the product image of this, I'm like, that's the freakiest tree monster ever. But yeah, it's just lacking. It's only about 5 inches tall. And it doesn't seem in scale with this because this is the face of the Dryad. These are some human skulls it's collected through its devious ways. Well, obviously, we'll read the cards. Let me make sure this is the same. I was hoping to at least get a checklist for the mythology. There's the Dryad card. Somewhere, I have Cerberus without a card. And we'll look at that in Cerberus Insanity one day. Okay. Now here's the thing. To me, this is historically in my life and cultural depictions, I would call this a treant. Treant or tree ant. But they definitely call it a Dryad. Here's the card. Read word for word. A Dryad is a shy nymph or spirit who lives in the woods. She looks after the forest and keeps an eye on the health of the trees. She periodically appears to travelers or assists the gods, but is primarily concerned with the trees. Okay? So a Dryad, I'll put some images on the screen. Obviously, this isn't my artwork, but when we think of a Dryad, we think of a forest nymph. It's kind of like the siren of the forest. So the siren of the sea will lure men in and seduce them and then, just kill them or eat them or whatever. So a dryad is kind of like that aesthetic of the forest. She's usually very lovely. She's not necessarily the tree itself. Maybe she can transform into a tree. But yeah, just look at these images, okay? That's what I think of as a dryad. A tree nymph, not a tree monster. But I guess this fits the definition. It's clearly a lady. I like to think about what kind of fantastical world where a tree has mammary glands, but it's clearly a lady. That's all I can tell you. All right. But then, yeah, I was doing a little bit of looking up, and it seems to be a dryad is basically any anthropomorphized tree lady. In current depiction, a treant would be any anthropomorphized tree man. Okay? In the Lord of the Rings, they were just called Ents. And of course, Treebeard, that's the one that helped him out. And you know, he was not on anybody's side because basically no one was on his side. I'm paraphrasing. But this is a great little figure. I guess. Okay, my first collector figure on video. Yeah, so I like the tree rings shown there, but what's radiating that way? It doesn't make a lot of sense. So a lot of viney plant-like detail. There's the human-like legs. It seems like this hand would hold an accessory. Clearly it didn't come with accessories, an accessory, but she kind of yeeting you. And then this articulates for why. We don't know. Why would you ever display it like that? It's one of the most pointless pieces of articulation I've ever seen in anything. If you can afford one point of articulation on your figure, neck only. I guess maybe someone could argue the waist. That should never happen. I would say neck. Okay, so you'd have her like this, but then it would disrupt the design of the Goron snakes. That's not going to make any sense. Okay, great. Yeah, I have a bit of a Medusa collection, and I have a very cool plant creature, jungle creature, forest monster collection. Okay, it's a dryad, tree lady. Here's the thing, though. You wouldn't be seduced by this. You would immediately start running, okay? The idea is you're like, oh, what is this lovely green-skinned lady hanging out in the forest? Hey, lady, take me out to dinner. And next thing you know, she's eating you and collecting her skull. So, I don't know, maybe this is like final form, true form, final boss kind of dryad. I'm fine with it being called a dryad. It's just, okay, so from now on, if it's a dude, if it looks like a guy, I'm going to call it a treant. If it looks even like a lady that's freaky, I'll call it a dryad. Okay, Medusa says here, the early Medusa was a beautiful young woman with magnificent long silky hair. She attracted the attention of the sea god Poseidon. One day, while she was in Athena's temple, she played around with Poseidon, which angered Athena. Athena was angry at the desecration of her temple. Okay, we know how they played around. She punished Medusa by changing her beautiful hair into a hissing serpent. Should be plural. She is so horrible that every living thing that looks upon her would turn to stone. Well, that's something you never think about. Every living thing. So if a little fly wandered into the room, it would just freeze to stone. But okay, Medusa doesn't always have the naga tail. But I think that's cool. I like the Medusa better than the dryad, and you would think, product image-wise, you would think I'd be all about the dryad because there's so few. Even most companies that conceive of a mythology line, they neglect, dryads and treants. But it's just proportionally, it looks so weird. It should be taller, thick like a trunk. Yeah, she got that thick snake bottom. Oh, she got the bottom too. She got serpentine cheeks. Not very colorful figures. I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy to Have these two. You can see there's also a griffin, a minotaur, and I want to say this is a cyclops, but you can't see the other eye. But I'm thinking there's two eyes there. And then I think they did some heroes too. You know, Hercules and Poseidon and such. Heroes, gods, and monsters. Loving that life. I'm very unimpressed by the card. Yeah, like I said, Cerberus. I got Cerberus. Someday I'll figure out where I put it. Okay, happy Arbor Day. Okay, let me know what you think of these. I mean, they're right up there with Schleich and Papo. And what's the third one? I always forget. Mojo. Except those companies have not done a Dryad. Except Schleich. Okay, Schleich kind of has, you know, they got the Jungle Faction and the Elzrador creatures, but not a Dryad specifically. Specifically, you gotta say lady. Lady like tree lady. Woo. Goodbye.